Okay, so here we are in Photopea. I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to call it Letters. And I am going to make sure that my drop-down unit of measure is inches. The width is going to be 11. The height is going to be 17. Background transparent, and then create. So here I am. So I am going to pull in my images. I'm going to file, open in place, and I'm going to choose my image. Remember, you are doing your letters. I'm doing whatever images I can find. So obviously this is going to be too big. So before I even click the check to confirm the placement, I am going to make it smaller. So I'm going to hover over a corner of the bounding box. I'm going to hold my shift key and I'm going to drag it down so it's smaller. And then I'm going to click the check. So now I want this to be much tighter of a box around this. So I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to click on the background layer, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom of my layers palette. And I'm going to click the new layer because the new layer is going to appear above the layer that you are in when you click the new layer icon. So that's why I went down to the background layer. So now I'm going to make a bounding box that is right around my dude here. You're going to make it right around your letter. So this is an easier way to crop to perfection, if you will. So I'm making sure I'm on my new layer, and I'm going to, I want all of my masked areas to be the same color so I can look into my layers palette and I can see each one of the blue rectangles is the vessel for the image. So then I'm going to, with my paint bucket, I'm going to fill that, and you can't see it here, but when you look over here, you can see that there's a blue rectangle. So now what I'm going to do, and this is my favorite part, I'm going to hold down my Alt key and I'm going to click between the two layers, and that is going to create that crop. So now I want to make a white border around that. So again, I'm going to click on my background layer. I'm going to, with my rectangular marquee, make a border equidistant around my image. And I think that's a little off, but I can move it over. And then I'm going to make a new layer. And I'm going to fill that with white. So I'm going to go up to Edit, Fill, White. Okay. And then I can use go to the Move tool and nudge that layer. So there I am. So I think I accidentally clicked on the background and made that blue. So we can delete that. That shouldn't be there. So I'm on the layer. I'm just going to backspace. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on all three of those compartments in that layer, in that group. And if I click on the topmost layer and hold down my shift key on the bottommost layer, I can go to layer, group layers, and now that made it all into a folder. And I can just, with my move tool, I can move them around and they all stay together. So I can leave that there. So now I'm going to go back to my background layer. I'm going to make a new layer. Oh, actually, I don't have to do that yet. I'm going to File, Open in Place, find a new image, and double click it. And again, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Oops. Click the checkbox. And then I'm going to make a new layer. So I'm going to go into my background layer and then click new layer. And then I'm going to make a bounding box around my image. And then I'm making sure that I'm on the right layer. I'm going to fill that with blue. Again, you can't see it on the outer edge. You can see it on the layer. And then I'm going to hold down my Alt key and I'm going to click between the two layers. So I missed. Click between the two layers. Not that layer, these two layers. And then it creates the vessel that holds that image. So it kind of crops that image for you. But if you were to unclick it, you can still see that it is not, it hasn't been degraded at all. It's just a mask that's over the image. So from there, I'm going to make another new layer. I'm going to go to my background. I'm going to click here and I'm going to make the white bounding box around it. So I'm going to make an equidistant box. I'm going to edit, fill. White is already chosen. I'm going to say OK. And then I'm going to make a selection with all three of those layers together. Go to layer, group layers, and it puts it into a folder. And I can now move them together. So you're going to continue with that through all of your alphabets, and you can also resize them as needed.